What is insanity? Right, so most people think if you're insane, you've kind of lost it. But what I've realized is that people that call other people insane generally are actually, they don't know what they're talking about. Right? It's like people who say if somebody died, it's like sad. To me, he died. I mean, previously, you would have had you lived and then you died. And today, if somebody does something heroic and he dies while he's doing that, people say, well, that's what you get for being a hero. No, that's what you get for doing what you feel like you can move on, yeah? Anyway, so insane, right? Insanity. So people say insanity is something bad. But what I realize is that the word insane, it's like the word in and then sane. So actually how you could see it is that insanity means that you are in sanity. So that often when people say you're insane, because that's what I've had, I've been going around speaking truth to people. Such as, I don't think the moon landing happened. And it's pretty obvious that it didn't. And then people come and say, you're insane. Yeah, exactly. That's insanity. I make sense in that sense. But they don't, because they're just afraid that the moon landing didn't happen. I know it didn't happen. Because if it would have happened, we would have moon landing tourism today. But we don't. And that to me gives me a very fair idea of what we're actually capable of. And so when I go out barefoot hiking in the cold, people say I'm insane. Yeah? When I go out at night and do whatever I do, people say I'm insane. Or they think it. But it's just that they're afraid of what I'm doing. And it scares them, even if they're not doing it. They're afraid of what I'm doing because they're afraid that I might die doing that. Or, they rather say that I'm an idiot for doing these things because then they can feel better about not doing them. And then they feel powerful, while all they are is actually afraid. So yeah, what is insanity really? If being true to my emotions means I'm insane, well, I can't help that. If I fall in love with a woman and I keep chasing her around and she says you're insane, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I just like you very much. And I'm trying to tell you that, but you're just running away from me. So what is really insane, because I see what's going on, you don't. But in that sense, of course, I could stop doing that, but if I like her very much, then I'm probably gonna keep chasing her. And then, they still might say I'm insane. But what is really insane that sometimes people say to you, stay away from me, but what they really want is to be close to you. So what is insane? What is insanity? I mean, can I really have people labeling me with such a word? Or can I label myself as anything at all? Because the way I see it, it's highly relative. And at the end of the day, it's whether or not you can deal with whatever you're feeling. And sometimes I think I'm insane, but it's just a word. And because that word has been given such a meaning, we judge ourselves as being something that shouldn't be the way it is. But it is. So if I feel bad today, I just look at why I feel bad and what I feel bad about. And if I say that to people, they say, well, that's insane, because they're afraid of looking at their emotions. So, generally, the only people who use the word insane are the people who are afraid of losing control. Because that's what fear is. You're holding on to what you think you know, because that's where you feel safe. And that brings us back to the constant, of course. It's like trying to create a space where you feel always safe. But you can see that comes at the expense of freedom. Because that's what the state does, that's what countries do. They're trying to create a space where they feel safe, where they feel like, this is where I feel good. But they do so at the expense of nature. They don't mind killing all these plants and animals just so that they can maintain their kind of constant of life, where they open the fridge and it's always full. You could say that's insane to me, but insane is just a word, because I understand that they only do that because they're afraid, and so that's just the way it is. But in general, insanity is a word.